Tonight on Tonight We Race. We race!
And we're live.
And the gentlemen pull out of their pit stalls onto the trap. Actually, where are we tonight?
Where are we? We're on Snetterton, or the Snetterton 100.
The Snetterton 100. And already we're witnessing some epic drifts. Goals, do you need a tow truck?
I think I'm good.
I think I don't need a tow. Let me just do some aggressive maneuvers here.
He's fine. I'd like to remind everybody this is a lone qualifier, and so they are not in each other's way.
Luckily, that wasn't your flyer. So,
Truth.
We saved that for the
I
rest.
don't think any of these will be my flyer.
Get it all out of their system now?
with the notable
Or
exception
maybe
of
not.
flipping end over end. I don't think I'm going to put in a flyer today.
Yeah, where's John? I need another car to do that move.
It's a one-lap lone
Icon, here's your hot
qualifier
lap.
here. In
Big
theory,
turn one,
everyone
don't
needs
jump.
one clean lap, and we're good.
Right.
I like the way you're just watching.
Yeah.
You just decided to not even do a quali?
It's the cold open. It doesn't matter.
True.
Like, worst case scenario, I'm at back and play with the boys for a couple laps.
Looking good, looking good.
You start at the
So
front-
the
starting at
field is
front
not
means you're the first
huge.
person you get run into.
There's
So,
going to be a lot of spinning. in this one,
qualifier,
too.
you're going to start
Starting
somewhere
at the back
within the
means you
top
get run into
7.
somebody, which is
I
way more
was gonna say, no. Brett's out tonight, so in fact,
the top 6.
it's you're almost guaranteed a position in the top 6 tonight. Good evening, it me, Mousy. How are you? Thank you for tuning into Wednesday League.
That is so brutal. Single lap qualifying.
Look at
How did I do?
look at all that rowing back there. My goodness.
There's not even like an indicator of where the start finish line is, you know?
There's nothing on this.
There's like no.
We're getting 4 checkers for the local drivers. How did we do here? Checking in on Shotes Pod. Space Punies with the best qualifying lap here, followed by Dr. Gould
Now
Remote,
get black flagged so that your
Conan,
lap immediately gets
and Shote.
disqualified.
I did get black flag. Oh,
Ted
that's
Carter, and Goals not being allowed to post times, and so they have to get out of their cars and push the first lap.
I wasn't able to put in a clean one.
Ted, I think that this puts you at the back of a massive AI field too.
Oh, I wouldn't have
Oh,
put.
there's AI.
Oh,
No,
don't worry, there's no AI on this map.
Yeah.
Yes, Snetterton
Yeah,
100
AI would
does
be
not
qualified.
support AI, unfortunately, or depending on your point of view, fortunately.
Or at least I hope I'm not wrong about that.
I'm sure there will still be
no, you're
lots
not
of
wrong about
opportunities
that.
for shenanigans.
That means the only drama will be human drama.
all right. My frame rate bomb on Derek is still holding true.
These cars do seem fairly demanding.
You disowned
Hey,
it.
Shote, if all the remotes are checked clear, then go ahead and punch
You
it
had to
through.
turn off the anime. It cost him dearly.
Yeah,
Darling.
Everybody done qualifying?
Yeah.
indeed.
As we grapple with the why do the admins not have the buttons bug one more time.
Nice, yeah. 6, 4, 5, 2, 3.
And they're ready to grid in. So, Trap, whether this is a demanding car or not is kind of an open question here. I think most of the people behind us are more experienced track drivers than we are, and if they say it's demanding, it's demanding. But
Rental MX5.
I was told by the internet that the MX-5 is the greatest spec racing platform ever conceived by humans, and that, therefore, anything going wrong is on the fault of our drivers.
Oh, maybe that makes it a really good car then.
That's what I'm thinking. Ooh, we got a little bit of wheel spin back
So
there.
anticlimactic.
And go! I said go!
They're like, we're going.
It's like we are already
Oh, this
already
is gonna
witnessing
be
some
real
drama here.
exciting.
Yes,
I'm gonna
Conan, go.
flip in a virtual clutch with no bite point via, you know. Like, is this right?
I like the inside. This kills the cone.
This is a pretty good view for this, frankly.
This is great.
Sorry, I thought you were a little bit farther back.
Thought you were AI.
Did he really say I thought you were AI? My ears are trained to pick that up through the static.
That is not the way.
That's not where the course
don't trust
goes.
your
Where
rearview
are
mirror.
you going?
Sorry,
What?
Your view
Sorry,
is really
Ted.
weird.
You're good, bud. I was like,
I'm
oh,
very
he's
confused
coming
about
over.
what is going on right now.
They're way closer than you think if you're going by your
Yeah, that's totally true. I got that warning and reacted to it, but I was already spinning.
Thanks for the first clean pass I've had in this game.
Oh, show. I liked it.
I was telling Shote this afternoon not to burn his good material in the pre-open, but I was wrong.
They did get a chance to practice on this track a little.
Sorry, you ended up so far off the track, man.
About as long as
Oh,
the
you were
actual
just-
race
you were
lasts,
just a
so
little
you
bit-
know.
You were just
Right.
that little bit ahead where it was the
Yeah.
perfect pit maneuver
Here's
to
my
try to
drama
stay
magnet.
on track.
Oh, absolutely. No, that was not your fault at all. I didn't know you were on that side of me, so I was just trying to get in position for the corner.
Conan
And
pushing.
every time I drive by the pit, I see the Porsche safety car, and I think, I should be driving that right
That looks good.
now. I'll bet that's really fun around here.
Conan, does this make you want to buy a spec Miata?
Oh,
Oh, he didn't even hear that. That's probably for the best.
Spicy.
This is good recovery. Good catch.
Car still facing the right direction.
It's why we love these wheels.
John, are you in that blue and yellow car?
Yeah.
Why we drive full
Yeah,
force
look
where
like
we
John
can.
driving.
In all cars except the Radical SR8, which was invented by God to punish man.
That's what the incidents are supposed to be.
Oh, John, I have a
That was very exciting.
Stealing Shote's shtick to say he just got another clean pass. What a day.
Sorry, I was stalled there.
No, that was fine. It was just surprising. as
Nice
well.
and smooth
I
through there.
appreciate you
All
not
right.
coming back onto track right in front of me.
Where is the drama? There is no drama. They're spread out, so we're actually going to do the math here and say
Got a little bit too much inside
Space
curve on
Beauty's
me.
currently sitting up front with a gap
And
of
then I
about
sort of, like,
2.2 seconds on Dr. Gould.
The edge of your door very barely off the track to avoid running straight into you.
Goal's naturally not showing off his lap times because all he cares about is the relatives. Same with Conan. Showed in position 5, chasing down Ted Carter, aka Blue Flag. Which frankly I think is a great racing name as far as I'm concerned. 11 minutes on the clock in this opening race.
Big sign that just says Hamilton.
Our cold open, of course,
How you
not
know
for
we're in
points. This
I
is
love
just
that
our
play.
drivers getting themselves into the rhythm of the evening
I'm not going to give up my spot.
and contemplating how much harder their GT4s are going to be to drive. Big spread out there now.
I should buy a Miata.
God, that is fast, John.
Space Beauty's still out front with a big lead, 7.2 seconds.
John, you should buy a Miata.
Seems like the drivers are kind of settling into their grooves. This is good.
Well, without a horde of rampaging AI fucking them, it seems to be an easier race. It's almost like we had the power the entire time. You know, my dad had an 89 Miata. I wonder whatever happened to it. Wasn't prepped for racing, I can promise you that.
So what makes the racing version different from just the one you see on the street?
I'd tell you all about that, but I'm reasonably certain that I wrote an entire blurb on it for the car description.
So we'll find out. Stay tuned.
But in general, it usually means stripping it down to whatever passes for a frame or a monocoque for the car, removing things that are unnecessary weight, such as sound dampening materials and seam sealers, passenger seats, really all the seats. And then once it's at its most stripped configuration, it gets a roll cage bolted on or bolted in, depending on the car. The bodywork gets
cutting the grass on
reapplied,
that lap corner.
either stock
Hell
or
yeah,
modified,
brother.
depending on the car. Like the engine may or may not be swapped. Spec Miata is its whole. It's this entire world of very, very, very specific stuff.
Been a
But
lot. Every
most of
lap
the
I've been
components
behind you,
are
you've done it, and I've done it
most of
with
the
you.
components are stock,
Okay.
or at least modified in a very specific way. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
God, it's all kind of the same way too, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna
they're
give
they're
it
identical.
away.
In fact,
You're not in second, are you?
when I was
No, I'm in third.
working a very, very
Oh, is that
long
Conan
time
in
ago at unnamed
that's
internet
second.
company.
Oh, I thought that was John.
One of my partner teams there, the head of that
John's
team
in
was a
first?
Spec Miata racer. And he informed me that the driving was important, but the
Way to go.
best and most
running
interesting
away
part
with it.
about Spec
Way to go,
Miata
Johnny
racing
boy.
Shout in front of me in fourth.
was trying to circumvent the tech rules.
Okay.
Like, okay, yeah, the restrictor plate needs to be of this size, but what if we scalloped out one side of the restrictor plate that wasn't visible from the inspection port? Or, like,
Huh.
just all sorts of little, yes, this is in theory within the rules that have been applied here. Analogous to when McLaren, I think it was McLaren, built that aerodynamic tunnel from their front valence into the driver's cockpit so that they could have their knee brush up against the hole or not to determine whether there was airflow. And that's how they controlled how much pressure was under the front valence. Which, of course, once race control found out about it, was explicitly prohibited. That's how the sport advances, I hear.
Uh-huh.
Let's do our checkups with 7 minutes on the clock. Shote holding fourth. But the car number 3, which I believe is Goals ripping through there. Holding steady, though. Very nice. Space Punies still out in front, extending another whole second worth of lead. Now sitting at 8.6 ahead of Conan, who we'll get to in a second. Goals looks like he's holding position number 5 here, unless I'm mistaken. A little bit of wiggle through that tight turn. And Conan's chasing down the Dream, but the Dream's 8.8 seconds ahead of him. I guess that's just living in America these days. Drama free, though.
Yeah, so far.
Second on John.
Although the cars can
Yeah,
see
John's
each other.
flying.
You should buy a Miata.
Looks like Shote, so that was not a lap, that was a live overtake.
don't matter,
And
that's
Shote's
my
now
time to
down to
shine.
5th, but he is holding pace on Goals. Little spicy into the right-hander.
No, Ted, you're the one.
Excellent use of the apex there on that left.
Don't worry, there's still lots of time.
That was worth some time right there. Hell of a lap out of Shote. Conan's gap to Space Punies now sitting at 10.2 seconds. He may wish to consider turning around and going the opposite direction if he wants to catch up. With the 5 minutes remaining, it would be faster.
You're so close to giving
That
you a
may
friend
wind up costing Goals.
I really feel like I am very slow through that corner.
Oh my goodness.
Oof. That what I was spun around completely in the track.
I got it 2 seconds for that.
I thought better than to try to right myself when I saw you two coming through that corner. I was like, I'll just
I
be
put
a
Shote
stationary
back on the
target.
4th position.
I can't see any friggin'
12
track anymore,
seconds to
Conan.
Ted Carter, a.k.a. Blue Flag. We can't see his point of view, unfortunately. Going with some aggressive moves there, picking up time.
I'm gonna hug this right side. as
Now
best I
driving
can.
like he is hungry for it.
A little bit of drama threatening to happen here.
It's those pink cars,
Not
man.
enough space for a cutback. That was fun though.
Yeah, that was good. Oh, we're getting into it now, boys.
Blue Flag / Ted Carter giving Conan a hell of a run for his money in the last couple minutes here. Taking the wider line, doesn't get to the apex. But
No, not the worst place for
faster on
this.
the exit. Oh, eats the sticks.
It's okay, Ted. I know you have a family.
That got grim.
Now we're just slowing each other down. But fun though.
It's okay. There's no way either of us is catching John. He's gonna buy a Miata.
What a dive to the
It's only
inside.
one
Oh my
spin back to
gooses.
Derek though. We don't have a whole lot of buffer
I
time.
feel like this is one of those races that convinces you either really want a Miata or never want a Miata.
I think, well, what do I think? I think everybody should have everything that they want. But since that's not a viable worldview, if you want to race, this is one of the more accessible ways to get there.
That's
Although,
fair.
Oh, I fucked that up.
I think I would
I've
find
switched from
Formula
totally
V
hating the way this
personally
car
more
drives to
gratifying.
Really liking it.
But on the other hand, you can drive this home at the end of the night.
Right.
Or at least know it's going to pull you over if they see you immediately. Actually, I don't know what the road legality is of a spec Miata. I'd imagine there's things that would need to be bolted back on for it to be able to pass an inspection. Minute 58 on the clock. Finish strong.
Doing it again.
No, not this game.
They're going to trade position at that left-right. Conan's got the
Around
apex,
corner, I can
but
see you two
takes it
out
way
my
too
left
wide.
window next to each other going into that complex.
Nice
catch.
It's
Yeah.
great catch on the re-entry.
You keep getting that inside
Oh, no.
line, It's the worst.
Guys, John Spun, go get
Ace
him.
Beauty's in the barrier, and he's got 10.9 seconds to sort himself out. I think he's going to be okay.
Man, I picked the worst corner to be a lot faster than you in because you always get the inside line.
Yeah, that's not really easy to make a pass there.
No.
Be worried about all the drama here, but the reality is this is for no points. So,
This is just the
Oh
pre.
no, I'm out of control. Watch out.
pre-drama.
I'm sorry, I locked up the brakes really bad.
Oh no, not this game again. Right here.
Oh, two guys. Can't wait to watch the replay.
Ooh. The funny part is, if they collide, no one's going to have any trouble figuring out which car it was with. Oh!
Sorry.
Goodness!
I totally. Punterino.
Almost puts Ted into the
Yeah, no,
pace
that was
car.
on- that was on me. That's yours.
I blew that braking marker a little bit, so it's not entirely on you.
No, I absolutely had no way of making that corner without the Gran Turismo assist.
Okay.
Oh, Derek.
You earned that.
20 seconds on the clock. White flags are out. Final lap. Finish strong. Or finish lol. Just make it count.
Just got a little bit too wide on the last turn.
I can see how these cars reward like very smooth, consistent
Really
driving.
nice, Ted.
They're momentum cars. That's racer speak for not fast.
Yeah, Yeah,
it's going to
definitely.
cost
If
Conan.
you're sliding around these.
I mean, on the
these
other hand, the
cars are
checkered
gonna
flag kind of
feel
cost
it.
him because it's over.
They're like a little slide on entry.
That's
That's it.
that's the
Just a
checkered
little
flag.
bit.
That's it. That's it for
That was
everybody.
really nice. You
It's
did
a heck
so
of
well
a
on that
it's a heck of an
last
opening race.
corner.
That
Get up
that
the
opening
inside the
race
parquet.
was probably
Yeah,
one of the
that
better
corner, I had
races
a lot
of
of speed on it.
the
That was a really
season.
fun
Full
battle, dude.
stop.
That was really
Oh yeah,
that was exceptional.
Side by side for so
highly
long.
entertaining.
Unfortunately, now you have to get out of the
enjoyed
cars
that.
because they have a
The
show
nice
to
thing
run
about
up here.
Miatas is they're sturdy. You know, you can touch a little bit. It's fine.
You mean a lot of it? Like
A lot of
straight
it.
ass back you coming into the corner. Pull up the results for the race crew here.
Thank you. Oh, actually, can we do it on pods 1 or 2 so it's not obscured by your pretty faces? I appreciate that.
Right.
Thank you, Shode. All right, so for the cold open race, which counts for absolutely nothing whatsoever, in first place, Space Punies, who may now need to buy a Miata. Second place, Blue Flag, Ted Carter, who now may need to buy a Miata. Conan, who should buy a Miata, and Goals, who should buy a Miata, and then Derek, who should buy a Miata, and Shode, who should buy a Miata.
Yeah, it should be the same.
That was a great race. All those times are super tight, a second separating everyone in practice. So we're going to send you all back to the green room and let's do the thing.
All right.
Welcome to Wednesday night on Tonight We Race, Seattle's secret underground racing laboratory. Secret because if the ethics committee doesn't release the report, it didn't happen.
Underground because it's 5 degrees cooler down here and there are a lot of GPUs running.
The racing bit we hope... Oh, is that too political for you today? The racing bit we hope will be self-explanatory by now.
Lab because here at Tonight We Race, we want to explore all the weirdness that is out there in the simulation space that you can only do with a lot of hardware and your participants in close proximity.
But not close enough to hit each other.
Not close enough to hit each other.
I'm Maradine, host of this silliness, and tonight I'm joined by It's a Trap of the Tuesday crew. Trap, how did Tuesday go?
My arms are still sore from yesterday.
I apologize.
Turns out that the Charlotte Roval is only half oval.
It's half oval on its mother's side. The Roval will continue until morale improves. So let's talk about our opener a little bit. I've got a thing for that. It looks like this. That was the Mazda MX-5 Cup on Snetterton 100. Let's start with the obvious. The Miata is the most raced car in motorsport history. And when you think of a spec race car, you're probably thinking of one. World renowned for its agility and its affordable entry point, the spec Miata is many racers' both first and last destination in motorsport. This unit we raced here tonight is the 4th generation example. It was born at the Mazda plant in Hiroshima before getting shipped to Florida, where it gets stripped, caged, and built back up as a racing icon, which is what we talked about, earlier in the thing.
Yeah, now the track, should we pull up the track here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the track is Snetterton Circuit, and it's the 100 configuration. About 75 miles northeast of London, Snetterton began its life as a Royal Air Force air base.
And then also after that, a USAAF base.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
It was a strategic bomber pad.
How about that? So it turns out in 1951, they turned it into a circuit, and they built it out of sections of the runway. That's interesting. But our 100 section is about a mile long and just 6 corners, keeping the Miatas doing what they do best, maintaining speed and shifting weight.
And not necessarily going terribly fast. And what I like most about this configuration of the race course is it fits just inside the big configuration.
It's super teeny tiny, yeah.
Course. So, as always, we will intro our drivers before the first feature race. But before that, let's run the news. And I apologize, Trap, because it's just me running the news tonight. We only had time today to do one segment for reasons. However, I hope it's a good one. So get me out of the way here. It's as we said last night. It's Formula One race week in Las Vegas.
Yes,
and that sucks all the oxygen out of the motorsport world for other things. But I thought to myself, rather than complain about Formula One taking all the oxygen out of the room, what if I leaned into it and said, hey, let's get me and you tickets to the Formula One race in Las Vegas less than a week prior to the show. So I went to the Formula1.com site and I pressed the button to book the tickets, and this dialogue came up, and lo and behold, if I actually want to show up in Las Vegas to see, God forbid, the actual race, or qualifying, that's not going to happen for me. I'd have to show up for practice. And I thought to myself, damn, now I can't go to Las Vegas and see Formula One. Wait a minute. It's impossible that these tickets have not been made available elsewhere. How about I go to one of my handy websites that also sell tickets? I'm going to go to StubHub and see what's going on here. And hey, look, I've got all these awesome tickets that I couldn't get through the Formula One site to go to StubHub. And I want to be there for Saturday for the actual race. And they're selling fast, so let's see the tickets. 2 tickets, one for me and one for Trap. The only tickets that we can actually afford have sold out 2 hours ago. Well, that's a problem. What about the next best thing, which is the East Harmon Zone, which comes with its own hot dogs and soda drinks, if you watch it there. And, $2,900 each is a little bit out of our price range, given that we also have to go to Las Vegas. But I figured, fuck it, let's do it. So, crap, I need to get this done in 10 minutes or I don't get the tickets. No problem. I can make this happen. Oh, crap, they broke the breaker down in the garage and my water heater isn't working anymore. I should probably go figure that out. What was I doing? Oh, shit, right. I need to secure my tickets in 5 minutes, 23 seconds, or I'm not going to be able to go to Las Vegas. Oh, crap. They don't accept my payment type because it's not in the correct currency? What the hell?
What?
Well, okay, we can go in, and I've got 2 minutes 55 left. I can get this done. I can do this in Apple Pay with 1 minute and 25 left on the clock. Holy shit, I have to sign the new global user agreement before they're going to let me proceed. No problem. Aww.
Uh-huh.
All right, well, what's the next most expensive ticket?
Oh.
Well, anyway, that's my story of why I didn't get us Formula One tickets for Las Vegas. I'm glad you were here.
Oh, well.
That's the news for tonight. I think that still technically qualifies as motorsport news for the evening. That brings us to the schedule. So we are in Wednesday night 3. We are 3/4 of the way through our season here at Tonight We Race. You saw the cold open on Snetterton. It's GT4 night. The Wednesday crew is the GT4 crew. And so feature race 1 is going to be taking place on Winton Raceway. That's in the UK. We'll talk about that in a sec. On the national configuration. And then we will be doing our GT4s on Virginia International, the North Course, one of my favorite raceways in the whole world. And I realize I do have a list of those. Let's go through the drivers real quick. Joining us in Pod 1 and also doing double duty as production assistants is Shote. Space Punies in Pod 2, still channeling the spirit of Bjork until he sends me a new photo. Pod 3 is Goals, sitting on a Conan sled, and Pod 4 is Conan, sitting on a Conan sled. We refer to... When my wife and I are driving out there in the world, anytime we see a motorcycle go by, we always refer to them as a friend of Conan, because it's probably accurate in one way or another. GT4 night has standings. The Wednesday league looks like this. We score 10-8, 6-4, 3-2-1 because we have 7 drivers, 4 local and 3 remote. And, of course, the challenge every night is always worth 1 season point. As stands, we have a tie for first place in the standings between Goals and Conan. That's position, or rather pods 3 and 4, respectively, within the racing lab here. We also have just nipping at their heels Blue Flag, or TED, inside iRacing, sitting at 26 points. I will note that both Goals and Conan have received the benefit of a challenge point in week 1 and week 2, and that's not something that Blue Flag has access to by virtue of being remote. So if you want to win races, you got to come to the studio. That's the moral of the story here. Followed by a tie for third with Dr. Gould and Space Punies, and Brett and Shote rounding us out. Shote, notably the only person who has stuck both challenges so far. We're going to see if he can make that 3 tonight. And that brings us to the first feature race, which I'm 99% certain people are already in the practice session. They're already practicing.
They're already practicing.
It's going to be a very efficient episode tonight.
Absolutely.
All right, let's talk about, let's get back to on the script where we're actually supposed to be, which I believe is here. And let's talk about this race.
Yeah, so I mean, this is the GT4 league. So the Wednesday night crew is racing a single class. It's the GT4. This will be their 5th race in either the Benz, the Beamer, the Aston, the Porsche, or the McLaren. And we think the majority of our drivers still love the Benz. Although, we think Shote has swapped over to the 718. And it feels like they're almost getting used to these cars.
So this is a script error. We don't think Hashot swapped to the 718. We actually assisted Hashot in swapping to the 718, which it turns out is just such a sweet car to actually drive. I'm looking forward to at seeing the numbers that he's putting up here.
Okay.
We're taking our GT4s to, hold on, I'll make sure I get this quote correctly, to Australia's action track. I'm not making this up. This is Winton Motor Raceway. Originally a 2-kilometer circuit and a 10-turn circuit. Winton got a major revision in 1997, extending it to 3 kilometers, making it great for all the things the Aussies like to do down there, not least of which includes Formula 3, Formula Holden, S5000, Sport Sedan, Superbike, Supercar Championship, GT3, Formula 4, the Porsche Carrera Cup, the Porsche GT3 Cup, Super Sport, V8 Touring Car National Series, Super 2 Series, Nations Cup, TCR Touring Cars, Trans Am Australia, and you get the point. Also, the most important race in motorsport, the 24-hour of Lemons, which maybe we can convince our pod drivers to set up a team for at some point. I would certainly relish the opportunity. So, that brings us to the part that we care about, which is Hashot, bring him in. Let's get the qualifier going.
It's race time.
I can tell you this much. I have not heard hide nor hair of the actuators back there, which is probably a good sign.
I think that means they're on the track.
Not only are they on the track, they're comfortable and moving quick.
All right.
Are you devoid of buttons again? What the hell? That's so annoying. You know, if I was a responsible citizen, I'd file a bug report.
Know which corners are which yet, so I'm over-braking or under-braking for...
Do you
Don't have the
roll
track
with the
memory.
racing line on, or do you have that off?
Definitely on.
I turned it back on. I had it off for a long time, but then I turned it back on. Oh, are we waiting, or can we go?
No, you can go. Don't cut the white line. Or the yellow line, I guess, with Australia.
Yeah, start it.
There's reminders being handed out here in qualifying that you can start speeding as soon as the speed limit sign goes away, but you still have to exit the pit across the actual pit line, or race control will do bad things to you. And since this is their lone quali, having bad things done to you by race control is probably a bad thing.
They're serious about their black flags on that pit exit and entry, actually.
I'm kind of liking the vibe of Winton here. This is my first time seeing it in the virtual flesh, so to speak. It's very bucolic. Is that the word that I'm looking for?
Sure.
Like, I feel like I could just roll off through the barriers into the English countryside and go have an adventure.
Or in this case, the Australian countryside.
Shit, we're in Australia.
We're in Australia.
There's no evidence that any Australians watch this broadcast. Well, hold on, I was told they don't have weather in Australia. What am I
You look
looking
at
at?
that
Here?
analytics data yet?
Too early in the morning.
Green flag. It's the hot lap. Off they go.
Good luck, everyone.
What am I looking at here? I'm looking at 3 AMGs in the Porsche. I'm checking
We're
out
all
the
a
Porsche.
good lap.
You know what the 718 is missing?
What is it missing?
A small analog clock in the middle of the dashboard.
How else are you going to know what time it is?
Exactly.
Wait, I could have had this in Sport Chrono package.
Somebody's been using the Porsche configurator.
No one I would know.
We're pretty sure Hashot's waiting for an electric McCann to show up. We'll see. Gonna be honest, I think we're all waiting for an electric McCann to show up. That would be pretty great, especially if it's on the 800-volt architecture.
And I just stuffed that back section so hard.
Those asses
Man,
are
I'm already
awesome.
kind of in Porsche brain
So
mode.
hard.
I hope there aren't any Porsches in the Bring a Trailer Challenge tonight.
Damn
I
it,
mean,
just spun on
Who could say?
Hey,
Oh no!
Not that bad.
I don't have the
Fine.
race headset on, so I
Went-
don't hear what the screaming is all
went
about.
to
Maybe
the
I should
dirt,
put it on.
invalidated my lap. That was my best lap yet. Man, this track is tough. All right, no valid laps. Let's do this.
We get 2 laps.
Oh, it's a 2 lap. Okay, cool.
Believe this is going to be the checkers. Oh, did we give them 2? We give them 2. They get to have 2 laps.
2 laps? What luxury?
I know. It's like just handing it out left and right here.
We have some time showing up yet?
Looking at a 128 in Schottland. Looking at a 128, so I guess we're going to have to get specific. A 128.7 in Schottland, the 128.17 in Space Punies, 126.9 in goals, that's pretty quick, and a 129.242 out of Conan, which I expect he's going to clean up right about here.
That's what the second lap is for.
That's what the second lap is for. You hit the nail on the head there. Something I've noticed this evening is now that we've got the pods kind of like tightened up correctly, and we've put zip ties in the places where the bananas like to rattle and everything's silent. I am now hearing the seats creaking more than anything else. I think we are actually starting to put real wear on our seats, which should tell you something about how much force is necessary to actuate these brakes all the way to the end of their travel.
Oh, bummer.
I feel like at this point in the season, we're starting to put actual wear on our drivers as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Well,
should've
what'd
had
you say?
that.
You're still
That's
jelly
silly.
from the last one?
Yeah, and I think
126.9.
Goals was commenting that his foot was still
8
trying
tenths
to fall
off
asleep.
my theoretical bath.
I just threw a
Goals is mowing the lawn.
3 away.
Oh, wow. Holy crap, you're flying.
Sir, that voids the warranty of your AMG.
This is a tough track. I'm not gonna
But he does have a time logged, so he'll be okay.
26 too. Yeah.
It's a
you
good
gotta
time,
do
too.
that?
Here we go. What do we got here? So, qualify spread between 126 flat, geez, goals, and
There's some sketchy parts of
128.7.
that lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of places where it's just sideways and all.
This
over
is
the
going to
place.
be
I
an
blew the
interesting
S's on
race.
the back
The
really
weight
poorly.
and power of the
Are we all
AMG
immersed?
kind of working against itself here.
Nope.
Derek runs the Porsche.
Oh, you're in the Porsche.
By unanimous recommendation of the Wednesday night
Yeah.
racers, we have now
Friendship
moved to
ended
a
with
standing start only format. And so
start, boys.
I'm okay with that because that
Hell
front
yeah.
loads the drama as far as
Oh,
I'm concerned.
absolutely. Let's watch that first turn.
All right.
Very happy we had 2 laps. That was nice.
Good luck, everyone.
Damn, this should be some good racing.
Yeah, that's tight grip.
Wait until we spin.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is done so.
I'm real worried about getting 15 minutes of clean laps in. I'll tell you that much.
Don't be crash me, please.
They grid in and get their engines into first gear.
There's the green. Drama, drama, drama.
Oh, I got a terrible start. Terrible start. I'm still on your left, boys.
I think Space Punies is where we want to watch this from.
Oh God, sorry, Derek. Okay, I didn't quite touch it.
Oh, what a
there
dive.
it is.
What a dive. Not rewarded.
Not what I needed. I'm way back here.
More opportunities to catch up.
Okay, let's pull off those 125s.
It's kind of an unusual track layout. They've got a couple straights, but they have a kind of a weird sequence of
That
turns.
section's so cumbersome.
Yeah.
It's very tight.
Work.
It's
There's no flow to it.
about
Yeah.
as small as you'd want to do a track on GT4. Obviously, the feature race 2 track is going to be much
Not
larger.
that to be the way that-
But we
Yeah,
want them
keep
in
doing that,
knife
actually.
fight mode as much as possible for the first
More y'all
feature
can
race.
spin up
And
there.
I
the
feel like
better.
this track will provide.
Yeah, no, things are clearly happening. That big old Benz V8 revving up to 7K. Showed holding pace about 2.3 seconds off of Space Punies. Space Punies about, let's call it, 2 seconds off of Conan, who's going to take a quick detour.
I hate this.
And Goals recovering from his earlier lawn mowing. I guess this is the fun position to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Little wide on that. Sets him up wrong for the next turn, but decent recovery. Gets on the hammer. What an interesting spread we have here. Goals now hunting Conan by virtue of their mutual love of gardening. It's like we've got Dr. Gould all the way up front. About 8 seconds on our current camera position, which not terrible. I believe Conan represents our furthest forward local pod driver
I see
now,
your
holding the
125
third
A.
position
I raise you at
with
125
Blue
free.
Flag and Dr.
I'm
Gould
coming
sitting
for it.
up front. Looks like those two are in a slightly tighter drama than we are here, but unfortunately we can't see
Series
it.
should do extra points for fastest lap, unless you're Derek. Unless you're the series points
AMG
leader, then
getting
you should be able
squirrely
to earn
under
them.
him.
Would be a good way to do
It's a
that.
good thing I'm not the series point.
That just makes me feel like I'm catching you, and then off you go.
4.9 seconds
Ooh,
to
that
get
was
back
almost a
into
big
the
moment.
scrum there.
Are you guys juggling between first and second through there, or?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the gearing on this is really not ideal.
Have to
Is
dance,
that making me faster?
have to dance the pedal.
Yeah, I lost almost 2 seconds.
Goals
that
starting
lap,
to get
so
within
you are
striking
cheating.
distance of Conan.
Thank you for being predictable.
Are you saying me spinning was predictable or me rejoining was predictable?
Space Punies
No, I mean
in
you
clear
didn't. You
air.
hit the brakes and stopped in the middle of the track instead of rolling backwards into my line, which I
And
really
coming up
appreciated.
on what looks like a goals incident.
Bummer, man. I lost it again.
It's a hard track.
Every time there's a pass by spin out, I'm like, not like this.
It's that back section. I was right on you, Conan. I was closing so much.
I tell Space Punies every
I just caught
Wednesday
a
he's the
curb as
most
I came out the
boring
outside
driver
corner,
here.
And it like bounced off the curb and then came back around on me.
The curbs here are super aggressive.
It was on the
Precisely
outside,
because
too, which was really surprising.
shit just rolls off
like
of
the
him.
outside curb on corner exit, back on the gas.
The situation now looks like Conan in third, our furthest forward driver at the moment, with about 2 seconds on the good doctor, which puts him in striking distance. A little wide through that first part of the switchback, so he's going to have to take this non-optimally.
I hope I didn't make that happen, Shote.
What's that?
I said I hope I didn't make that happen.
Oh no.
2.5 in the open.
Feel like they still have some time to change some positions here.
They've got 12 left on the clock. Oh, that's a rotten time to tune in there. But the car is undamaged because space metal. 12 left on the clock.
So demoralizing to see the gap just jump by like a second.
Only the sounds of racing coming through.
I feel like we aren't getting enough oh no's from the drivers.
I was gonna say everyone's driving pretty smooth and pretty clean here. As far as the gaps are concerned, I think the question is still, is Conan going to catch up to the
One thing
Blue
to
Flag
catch
and
the
Dr.
ball on
Gould
the
pack?
track, Another thing to make a pass.
I mean, they're in view.
Yeah, like he has to get there and then he has to do something. I suppose this is the problem here, but the first half of the equation looks like it's going to happen.
How did y'all launch, by the way, at the start?
Terribly.
I did okay.
No, I mean like how? Because I
just shifted into first.
oh, because I carried like 6,000 RPM and shifted into the first, and the car just bogged.
I used the clutch.
Yeah, I didn't use the clutch.
Yeah, see, I didn't use the clutch either. I just banged it into gear at RBF.
Only
Yeah, I
one
feel
time
like
you use
standing
the clutch
starts
on
are
a
a different
GT3 car.
strategy
Or GT4.
for getting a good start.
They are. There's a strategy to it that's, of course, highly dependent on your car, its drivetrain configuration, and equally important,
I understeered.
whether you are playing with the driver assist automated clutch, which is a level of assist that basically says your clutch is your own, except in the shift between neutral and first at launch, so that drivers do not stall their cars out on the
I don't think that
at the beginning of a race.
Catching up to anyone
Ah,
here.
and it sounds like that's exactly what happened in this case.
Well, so what we don't know is if that actually affects how they would otherwise try to manually manipulate the clutch. That's something we'd have to test. But
Pulling a little gap.
it's a nice setting, I think, because it prevents just unfortunate
Not if
catastrophic
I keep
launch
driving like
errors,
that.
but still makes you do all the hard work of playing three pedal for the rest of the race. Certainly, if we wanted to do Launch Simulator, we could go find the drag racing game. Which, are there any in the modern parlance? Like
I don't know.
the Horizon series has a drag racing mode.
They have some segments that you can do.
Yeah.
And of course, with standing starts, you also have to deal with the cars that are around you.
Yep. Checking in around the loop. 8 minutes 50 left on the clock. We've got Schote sitting in position 6. His best lap is a 1:27.7. Space Punies in 4th. His best lap a 1:26.1. And for the moment, he is out of contention with the things ahead of him. Goals. We can tell you what his last lap was, which was a 1:30. Not really in a position to capitalize on anything. And Conan, whose last was a 1:26 flat, which is pretty quick through here. And he's still trying to make up that 2.7 seconds to our leaders, Dr. Gould
125
and Blue Flag, who, as best I can tell, have not actually traded positions yet.
No, they're just kind of holding positions there. I wonder if they're trying to just wait till there's a good opportunity to pass.
Well,
or-
you see, that's an interesting question, because if you're driving semi-defensively and trying to hold on to your position, you are not necessarily taking optimal lines, which means you're not necessarily keeping up race pace. And so, what you'd expect to see is two cars locked ahead in an overtake battle should be going slower than the single behind them trying to make up the 2 seconds.
Right.
Well, I mean, there is that possibility.
But you're turning, I mean, Conan's turning in a 126.
like-
It's not bad.
Conan asks us to consider the possibility that Conan sucks.
Damn near
We, of
kissed
course,
the
know
wall
that's
there.
not true.
Yeah, that was a close one.
We are definitely going to inspect his seat after the race, though. He is one creaky boy right now.
I feel like there's a second in the T1 chicane, and I'm just too cowardly for it.
I mean, that's the
I don't know
tricky
if that's
part
the
with
place where
chicanes,
it's
of
worth it.
course, is
No, it is.
Finding the second.
you can always go a little faster until you can't.
Somebody lost a second in here. I believe Conan was present for the assembly of most of these pods, and so I might have him do the backrest troubleshoot while we're running. Bring a trailer.
Okay. I imagine real cars also
is that
have
the
this sort of
pass?
issue.
No.
Occasionally.
Real cars are built with a little bit more rigidity than these seats. I love these seats, but there is a inherent lack of durability on all adjustable back seats that don't cost
Really wish I was
north
close
of
enough to
$7,000,
but I think I'm
where they're just not
using the
as
same laptop.
durable as fixed back seats.
Sure. And these ones don't come with the 5-point restraint either.
Also true, and the goal of this arrangement was to accommodate the widest combination of body styles possible. And since
damn it.
there's limited amounts of
Get distracted by the- you
adjustability
just
up
set your
front,
fastest lap of the session,
seat
that's it.
back
You
is
missed
like
the
your
chicane at
last
the entrance, the T1.
seat back's your last opportunity to put distance between the driver's shoulders and the steering wheel if all else fails.
I hate how that corner opens up. But we're
4 minutes 30 on the clock.
That Merc just has so much more power than this car, too.
Possible, but unlikely we're going
going
to
for
see
the-
this overtake.
going for the mega lunge. Okay.
Possible, but unlikely we're going to see this overtake.
Yeah, that was definitely.
And here we are, right back in the
And-
drama once
That's
again.
fine. I think you.
Possible.
I think you were.
Possible.
You would have eventually earned it on merit, or we would have had a big crash. So I'm alright.
The question I imagine
shit,
is
I'm
in
a little out of
Conan's
control, I'm
mind
down.
right now. Oh, oh,
Oh.
oh,
Oh.
oh!
Touche.
Ignore everything I was about to say.
Straight in for me.
I really
Now
locked
it's a
up
race.
not being able to see my braking marker because being behind someone for the first time.
Mayonnaise car now in second. He did not bring out the Hellmans. Therefore, he did not bring out the best. Little 718 driving for dear life now. catch on Conan's part. He's got very little time to make this happen. So now we can go back to the thing I was about to say, which is he's got to have going through his head right now. He's a shoe-in for third, which is worth substantial points. Does he put those at risk by trying to be a cowboy?
I mean, second is worth more points.
It is, and I don't think...
John, you were just driving really goddamn well.
I don't think... Well, no,
you're
a
getting
real
up.
spin would probably
I'm
hurt
not,
him pretty
dude.
bad.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
he
putting in
doesn't have
personal
enough
best
of a
left and
lead
right,
to,
and the gap is just
to
staying
get
at
back
8
out
seconds.
first in.
I don't think he risks it.
I think I'm just evened out at 126.4.
And who knows,
Yeah,
maybe
I think like I'm doing
the drivers up front will
125
do
every once in a
something
while,
risky.
But I just can't put any actual distance on you.
This is one of those tracks where
This is not the place where I want to be this close to you.
everyone has sections where they're faster and slower.
That left hairpin,
Keep going for 0
Mm-hmm.
here.
that would have been the moment. Or a moment. That was a turd of hands off out in Podland. White flag. We are on the last lap.
Last chance.
Need another 40 minutes of this race, and I might be able to catch you, John.
All he needs is half a second.
At time.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the Porsche get tossed around on those curbs. Good lord.
Yeah.
That's a disappointing result for me.
God, Dick, there's so much corner speed. It's really impressive.
I just again blew the T1 and just broke super late, and then picked up a full second through there, John. So I found it.
Is that like way off track?
No, I kept it together, but it's
Could have taken a
very
super
sketchy.
wide line through there.
Yeah, not okay.
I mean, if you can make it, if you can get the, you can get back on the accelerator quick enough, maybe.
Romance, not okay. Like I slid into T1 on the break.
This is going to be it. I think he's all out of chances.
Head, do it just to do it.
I mean, third is still points.
I found the pace though. I pulled 3 seconds on you there in the last couple laps.
Oh my God, I was so close to the line. That was really nice.
Man, that was stressful
And
trying to hold you off the
Starting
whole
to see
time.
checkers.
Starting to see checkers. Means I should
You're
probably
good,
get
man.
out the pencil and start
Like
recording
when I
scores.
walked in, you were like, gosh, you're quick. Like, this track was just a hair wider than it had to be a while ago, I feel like.
Well, I did have. Yeah. It's, no, that was a fun race. I like that.
Ooh, good stuff. All right, gonna do the intermission thing, I think, and then
I would've given
We're
it
gonna
back.
have Trap and Conan attempt to diagnose creaky seat here. Space Punies, thank you so much for bringing up the scorecard. I'm gonna go ahead and write these down. Blue flag in position number 1. What a finish. Followed by the good doctor. No, my results.
10 minutes?
Ah, more results. Followed by Conan. Then
They're gonna do
Space
the
Punies. Then Goals. Then Shote. And Brett is not with us tonight, unfortunately. Not all of Seattle has power back, which is somewhat unfortunate. And while everybody goes and gets themselves situated in the green room and Conan and Trap take a look at our creaky pod, we are going to advance to not another picture of, it's not even Lime Rock Park. Good Lord, Mara. The Bring a Trailer Challenge. And in order to do that, I'm going to need, who is up first tonight? Goals! So, Goals, this is going to be your first time in the new microphones. These are the dynamics, and so one fistful.
Perfect. Perfect. I'll speak into it then.
You got to lean into it. How's your GT4 experience going tonight?
Oh boy, that was a rough one. I had a awful start, which threw away my qualifying, and then I had one of those accidents where you just make a little bit of contact, and then it becomes a really big incident, and from there I just couldn't bring it back around.
I hope this makes it up for you, because tonight,
Oh my god.
you have a 52-mile 911 GT3 RS Weissach edition.
It's that one.
It's that one. It has the package, which means all the weight reduction goodness. Everyone probably knows the GT3 stats by heart right now, but this is the 4-liter, 510 horsepower flat six on a PDK. Of course, the RS has only received the dual clutch transmission. No manual seen here. It, of course, has the Sport Chrono package, the biggest wheels they put on it, the carbon ceramic brakes, which, frankly, for a track car, I don't think is preferable. A front axle lift system, because I promise you getting that into a driveway is difficult. Yeah. PCM with navigation, all the torque vectoring, all the bits and pieces. This one hasn't lived long enough to even be broken in.
Yeah, 52
like at 52 miles, like I would not have expected anyone's even redlined this thing unless they're doing so for effect.
That's the dealer drive.
That's the dealer drive. This was purchased in Coral Gables, Florida, and at a price of $247,000, which, for the record, you can no longer get a GT3 RS for that amount of money. We live in a different world now.
Yes.
It is paired with, tonight, another stunning example of Porsche, a 2,400-mile Turbo S Coupe. So it has passed break-in, which means which means that it has probably experienced launch control a number of times now, which means it's probably banging out 2.6s, 2.7s. 2,400 mile. Obviously, the turbos are only PDK, but this is the modern PDK, so that's an 8-speed dual clutch. Also has the Sport Chrono package, carbon fiber roof panels, the Porsche composite brakes, PASM sport suspension, PDLS LED matrix lights. It has all the bells and whistles, clean Carfax report, and it is titled currently in South Carolina. Interestingly enough, the gentian blue metallic color that you see here was also the base color of that Dakar we talked about last week. So a little bit of the family lineage showing here. They have chosen wisely, in my opinion, to keep the Adaptive Sport Plus seats and not put in buckets. And so it's worth pointing out that though the GT3 is, of course, a naturally aspirated 4-liter flat six, putting out approximately 500 horsepower, the twin turbocharged 3.7 is putting out 640, and more importantly, 590 foot-pounds. And so when these guys say they've got 200 plus mile-an-hour speedometers,
they do.
Both of them are capable of reaching that speed.
They both mean it.
These are both exquisite examples of the two different sides of the coin that Porsche does when they put together a performance car. One that is oriented solely for the track, though being road legal. I cannot imagine driving that on the local roads. And of course, one that is meant to transport you and your 2 suitcase-sized object and your spouse to the airport, where it then gets valeted. That's the private airport, of course.
Yeah. Of course.
And so, you can probably guess that I would not have put these two up here together unless it was close.
Yeah. I think it's going to be really close. I think the 911 is going to be worth more, though.
My brain went into, is you fucking serious,
man?
I
watched you have an aneurysm there.
You managed to break my brain. You succeeded.
Oh, boy. This is tough. I think I would take the Turbo S.
It is more usable in every conceivable way.
Yeah, it's more usable in every conceivable way. But the GT3 has a fancy name attached to the end of it.
It does, and there is no way to stealth down. Actually, I say that. Did you know that there's effectively a touring edition for the RS now?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I forget what they call it now. It's got some ridiculous name, but now even the RS has a touring edition.
So you've got
this can't be stealth.
No, you've got a fantastic example of a hell of a street car, and then a very special Porsche, right? So somebody really stupid, well, not stupid, somebody very particular.
Someone very lucky and very wealthy.
Yeah, could have gone for that GT3 RS. I think I gotta go Turbo S.
Here we go.
Son of a bitch.
It is the Weissach by
Woo!
a healthy margin, and
Yeah.
You weren't here for a little bit of story time last night, but we spent a little bit of time talking about GT3 prices. Even
Oh, they're a little stupid right now?
even unperfect GT3s of older generations are still, like, I mean, you saw, like, one of the first weeks, there was like a 996 GT3 that was still pulling over $100,000.
That's
like,
true.
they are
That's
just
true.
absolutely insane right now. No points for you, unfortunately.
Well, it happens.
But this was a tough one, and I'm glad you're a good sport about it. Now you need to bring me Space Peonies.
Can do.
Utterly undrivable on Seattle roads. Just not even. Space Peonies.
go.
How is your GT3 experience tonight?
Oh, much better. I can understand why everyone goes with the Mercedes. Friendship ended with the M4. Don't like it anymore.
Little bit closer to the mic for
Oh
the
yes,
dynamics tonight.
there we are.
Awesome. So
Loud.
here's what I have. Here's what I have for you.
Okay.
They have no power. They are not condensers. Is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Join the club, cars. Me too. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Here's what you got. You've got a. So this is.
Wait. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. No.
Yeah. So this is a different
Okay.
ramjet powered old truck. In this case, a Blazer, not a Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
Versus a different G-Wagon 550.
Yeah.
Not the 4x4 squared.
Yeah.
So here's what we got. This is a K5 Blazer. It has been heavily refurbished prior to the seller's acquisition in 2013. It has also received, just like last night, a 350 cubic inch ramjet crate V8, so about 350 horse. It rides on a lifted suspension with Fox remote reservoir shocks and a 17-inch ultra alloy wheel set, 35-inch mud terrain tires. That's kind of huge. It's got a 3.73 final out back dual range transfer case, manually locking differential, so you got to get outside and lock the hubs if you want to get serious.
No
The
power.
cabin was refreshed with gray cloth. It's got a padded roll bar buckets, now offered in Utah by the seller on behalf of the owner.
Never drank it.
not even once.
Not even once.
But it has a clean Oregon title.
Oh.
Refinished everywhere. Front buckets were refurbished. It's got a new comfort grip style steering wheel. The crate engine is mated to a 3-speed automatic.
Yawn.
An SPID sticker is found in the glove box. I don't know what that means. Does anyone know what an SPID sticker is? Because this has one. It is up against the G-Wagon. Once again, a G550, so not the AMG. So the people who are in the know are going to look down on you because you took the cheap G-Wagon. This one's got 33,000 miles on it, which is...
Those wheels look like just came off a Mini.
Yeah. Gray metallic, Designo black Napa leather, 5.5 liter V8. It spent its time in Texas and Florida before the seller bought it in 21. It's got the 18-inch double spokes, Distronic adaptive cruise control. I don't know what Distronic means. Harman Kardon sound, clean Carfax report, and is currently situated with a Washington state title. So this might be just down the road for all we know.
You can title anything in Washington.
That's a good point. Heated leather wrapped wheels, all the bells and whistles, Harman Kardon, 6,300 RPM red line, factory rated at 382 horsepower and 391 foot-pounds, which is why, of course, the AMG people look down on you. This car, of course, not actually meant to go off-road, meant to be perfectly capable of doing so and then never, ever, ever setting foot off the street. Window sticker notes it was worth $120 when it was built.
Foolish. Well, last time I was like, oh, you shouldn't bet against the G-Wagon. But
Do you still feel like that?
no, I want that Blazer. I'm going based off of what I want. I want that Blazer.
All right.
Give me that bow tie.
Space Punies wants the Blazer. Let's see if he is right.
3 in a row. Here we go.
You had
stuck with the
rules.
G-Wagon.
You knew the rules.
Ah.
And here we are. Space Punies, unfortunately, I cannot award you a point. I feel like this is getting to be a habit with us.
Now I got to bet against myself next time.
I still
Just
think you're
whatever
driving
I think. Thank you.
All right. Please bring me Conan.
Conendo.
What have we learned? We've learned that we always bet on the G-Wagon. Conan,
Why, hello.
welcome back to the stage of history.
Thank you.
How's your GT4 night?
Going excellent.
I need your melon like right
no,
here.
just like straight up. Yeah, make good friends with the microphone.
Yep.
All right,
This
awesome.
is the new world that we live in now.
No.
And if you watch the VODs, it is a much better world that we live in.
That is great.
So, how's your seat?
Seat seems fine. I think that because they have like alternate adjusters, I think one of them might have been one click off, which will make lots of squeaky noises. but
Torsion.
Yes.
All
yeah,
right.
Not the greatest.
Ready to
so.
see what I got for you?
Yes.
You're gonna love this.
Ooh.
Your options
Oh,
are
God.
4 wheels taken off of a Testarossa, or the fake butt of a Corvette. Let me tell you about your cars. I'm so sorry.
The most abstract sense.
Oh my goodness. All right, hold on. I got this is so small I could fit it all on one page. Here we go. The wheels.
There's 4 of them.
There's 4 of them.
Center lock.
They measure 16 inches. And yes, they are center locks, which is valuable. 8 inches and 10 inches wide, respectively, because staggered wheels on the Testarossa, obviously. Produced in Italy by OZ for use on the Testarossa. You can't see this in the photos here, but I did click through each and every one of those photos, and the rear wheels exhibit curb rash,
Oh, been curbed.
which is not listed in my text here. But beyond that, other than having their original part numbers, there is no additional information. They are 4 used Testarossa wheels that have seen a little bit of curb wear. We put that up against, having difficulty flipping the page here, but maybe I don't even need to. Ah, yes, the Chevy butt. This wall art was fabricated by the seller in 2024 and incorporates a reproduction rear body section, so that's not even real fiberglass. Split chrome bumper, taillights, reverse lights in the style of a 67 Corvette, finished in yellow and equipped. Is that yellow?
That's yellow.
It's kind of a chartreuse.
I
Could be the photo. Equipped with remote controlled LED incandescent lighting, LED and incandescent lighting, and a metal mounting bracket. It is 71 inches wide, 21 inches tall, and 18 inches deep, and it is powered by a 3-prong US-style plug.
I gotta go with the Ferrari wheels. I cannot believe that there is somebody out there I can believe that a lightly damaged Ferrari Testarossa wheel is still actually like worth something. I cannot believe. I mean, we are in the world of Elon Musk, so there's a distinct possibility I'm about to eat.
So you want the Testarossa
But
wheels.
I'm going to go with the Testarossa wheels.
What have we said about Corvette people?
I know, but I just don't
They're
want.
nuts.
God damn it!
$4,000.
Jesus Christ, people!
No challenge points for you, Conan. I'm sorry, this one was pretty difficult, but I am still surprised. But like, it's in the shape of a Corvette.
This is what America deserves.
On the other hand, do you know what the muffler of a 911 turned into stereo speakers costs?
Oh yeah, it's like $12,000.
$12,000.
Yeah, because it's like
this is the mental illness that got us there. You know who to bring me. Bring me a Shode. What did I do for Shode?
Hopefully not parts.
No parts. I have an internal rule that we only do 1 parts challenge per night.
Great.
All right, here we go. This is a fun one. You're gonna like this. And for the record, yes, this was randomly distributed. You get either a modified 91 Lancia Delta Integrale, the 16 valve version. I can hear the gentlemen in the green room starting to open their wallets. This one was refurbished and modified in Europe before being imported into the United States in 2024. It was then repainted, had the installation of fender flares, a roll cage, Martini-style livery, and a built turbocharged 2.0-liter inline-4, which drives all four wheels through a 5-speed manual transaxle. So what we are learning here is this was not originally a Delta Integrale. This was kind of turned into a Delta Integrale, or something that looks like one. Rides on adjustable BC Racing coilovers, 17-inch OZ Racing wheels, rally lights, stainless steel exhaust system, Magnaflow muffler, an ECU master engine system, and a whole bunch of bells and whistles. An Alcantara-wrapped Momo wheel, and that's it. That's all we got. I've got a list of parts here if you want to hear them, but it's mostly... if you cared that the turbocharger was a Garrett and that the intercooler was custom fabricated. This is someone's project car, and now it looks like an Integrale.
Okay.
It is put up against a 26,000-mile Ferrari FF, which is, of course, the weird front-engined running shoe thing that Ferrari did that I think technically on paper has 4 seats. It is finished in black over beige leather. It's got a 6-liter V12, which is, in my opinion, other than LOL Wagon, one of the only reasons you do this. An absolutely incredible engine, 7-speed dual-clutch transaxle, and then also a front-mounted 2-speed transaxle for the all-wheel drive here. Carbon ceramic brakes, all the bells and whistles. It has quote-unquote spent time in, not sure what that means, California, Illinois, Florida, Texas, New York, and now has 26,000 miles. It's being offered by the selling dealer with a car cover and accident-free Carfax report, which is oddly specific, and a clean New York title. The style here is referred to as a shooting brake. That is what we are forced to refer to this as. Everything else is lots of stuff about the interior, dual zone climate control, infotainment, all that stuff. But again, calling out the engine, 6.3-liter V12, factory 651 horsepower and 504 foot-pounds. Absolutely monstrous.
I think I'm going to have to go Ferrari because I heard project car not originally and then a ton of work. And it's pretty old.
One might ask, is any Integrale built to be an Integrale, or are they developed from Deltas? But no. My best reading of this is that someone got a Delta and said, "Wouldn't it be cool if?" And the kit and the stuff exists in order to make that happen. Versus a 12-year-old Ferrari with a fucking banging engine. So your call is the Delta?
No,
your call is the Ferrari. Okay. Make sure we get all that on paper. The answer is it's the Ferrari.
But not by much. That's closer than I would have thought.
That is still quite a princely sum for a 12-year-old Ferrari that is engine on the wrong side of the car and is kind of a squished wagon. Sorry, shooting brake. But I'm frankly very surprised that the Delta got that much. Shote, you are the only person tonight to walk out of here.
Oh no!
With a challenge point.
Oh no!
It didn't go very well over there. But that brings us to feature race number 2. Thank you for playing. Enjoy your score. Let's get everybody out here and get into practice because you're not going to have a whole long for it. Welcome back.
All right.
What were you most surprised by?
The wall art. What is up with that?
I
Did somebody
don't know,
lose
man.
a bumper? I mean, what happened?
Bring a Trailer is it's lots of things, but it's also Etsy for car stuff.
Apparently.
that's the conclusion that I've come to. Let's talk about the final feature race of the evening. There's our little AMG picture. They are obviously still, of course, in the GT4 class, but now they are going to be racing on a track that's going to provide a little bit more breadth of experiences that's going to leverage those cars a little bit deeper. The Benz, obviously, with its higher output, the Porsche being lighter and a little bit more nimble. And frankly, I think everybody is on the bends with the Porsche at this point. Everybody is
so,
in
yeah.
everyone's in their favorite car.
And it'll be great.
And we're taking them to
We are taking them to taking them back to the Virginia International Speedway, a beautiful course set in the hills of Virginia.
says it right in the label.
Yeah, and we turned in some laps here during the pilot episode. So we're back, which is great. We were kind of doing it for lulz back then, but this time I think we're going to take it seriously. It still features hills, grass, golf cart rentals, long straights, and 17 turns. However, this time we'll be on the North course, which is somehow still exactly 17 turns.
How's that work?
No one has explained how this is possible, so I guess we're just going to have to find out the hard way. They'll still need to change elevation and take blind corners at the same time to stay on the road.
Fun. Well, let's see how that practice is going for them. I think I got a button here that does that, and then a button here that does that.
That's great.
This is getting off to a stunning start in practice.
It's like, Missile knows where it is.
Where's the best place to
I don't
overtake?
know why that cracks me up every time I hear it.
It's coming into turn 1.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah.
Love that S. Love that S.
This is a different version of the track.
And here's the turn that's going to fuck people up. This right-hand sweeping uphill is just a classic blind apex.
Get those practice turns in.
Followed by more S's.
Like they replaced a bunch of the straights with this big series of S's.
I like every part of this course. I just think that this north section is the particular experience. We want to give people a flowing experience after the sawing back and forth at the wheel of the feature race number 1. Do not overcook that turn right there. That's a full break down the hill.
Slides left and right behind you, John.
Oh, yep, there they go. We're learning a lot about this track.
Everyone has a minor disaster trying to get back into the pits. Or trying to avoid them. It's hard to say.
My DRS turned off there.
Schote and Goals still having a lovely time out there on the racetrack.
Who's number 4 in front of me?
John.
In fact, Schote's turned in a proper lap, which is more than I could say for some of our drivers out here.
And you can't see this on the stream, but they do have the side monitors, and one of them helpfully shows you what number car you are. So the drivers do know what car they are in.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because I think we can tell a lot about our drivers by which black box page they choose to keep active all the time. Schote keeps the page that both tells him how he has performed, his history of performance, what position he's in, what lap he's in, and how much time is remaining on the race, which is useful both to him and to us. Space Puny's doing likewise. Conan and Goals only want to see what the road looks like ahead and behind them and how much eating they have to do, which I do also appreciate. Taking the uphill wide, I like that.
It's interesting. They also have their split times up on the screen.
Yeah, some of our drivers have opted to keep their splits up, which doesn't mean a whole lot in practice in traffic, but can be useful. That weird section they just went over is where the interface from the other section of the course is.
Presumably the splits let you know that it's like you could take this faster.
That
was
a non-standard overtake maneuver.
Race control has opinions.
Oh, here's a spot where maybe I have speed on you. There's just no more traffic.
We're going to look away from that in shame.
Wheelie past him, straight off the track.
It was beautiful.
Excellent work on the brakes there, right on top of it super early. Really staying on Goals. Sticking like glue. I like to see that. Space Puny's just out there turning in on dramatic laps. I love to see it. Let's take a look at our times here. Shote's turning in 133 twos, 133 eights, 132 eights. Can't see it here, but these are relatively close times. I think they're in their zone. So Shote, let's get the qualifier open. Let's make this happen. As he tries to find his parking space. Once again, not being given the button, so we are using keyboard administrative commands to advance the session. I'm going to complain about that every time it happens from here until the end of time.
Woo. This is not going to be good. This is going to be good. You need this to not be good for Conan.
Going to hit someone from behind on the last section.
Thinking the AMG drivers are a little concerned about their car's qualities on this one.
I feel like this course has a little bit of everything. It should be fine.
It's just a stroll through the hills where the hills turn behind the crest that you can't see. By far, not the worst of the blind corners on Virginia, though. There's a reason we're doing the north section. Imagine doing this on a car that's even lower, so your visibility is even worse.
We tried this, didn't we?
we had strong opinions. A little bit of lawn mowing in Goals Land. It's the qualifier. That's an okay place to do gardening. We've given them 10 minutes to turn in 2 quality laps, so no one's losing anything here yet.
Should be fine.
Shote transitioned from the AMG to the from the BMW to the 718 specifically for this track, and I think that's paying off handsomely. Just super, super smooth through here. This is also the car that I would want to be in on this track.
Screwed up the entrance.
I think we talked about this briefly previously.
Got a cop
but
immediately.
the cars all kind of have their own little niche, don't they?
Yeah, they have in homologated racing series like this the concept of balance of performance, or BOP, which is that the cars kind of have their own intrinsic qualities that are based on what their drive line is like and where the engine is located and their overall weight and their overall power and like how their transmissions are tuned and a bunch of other stuff. And the goal is that over a sufficiently long number of races over a randomized set of tracks that are in the series, the balance of performance of the car should be approximately equal. Now, obviously, as anyone who knows anything about game balance can tell you, balance is just a hard thing to do.
Yes.
Especially when you're trying to balance things against teams that have multi-million-dollar investments in the outcome, and there's all sorts of politics involved. A game developer like iRacing, while having to pay homage to that, does not necessarily operate under the same constraints, and they can treat balance of performance a little bit more rigidly, and also using hard data by simulating race after race after race, or even better, looking at the millions and millions of laps turned in their systems and developing an attitude around what does well, where, doing what. Just realized I'm not even centered up for this. I've been talking for quite some time. iRacing is a better opportunity of getting the balance of performance right, and so you should see all of these cars very equally matched over a spread of all these tracks.
Sure.
We only have eight
Yes.
Actual races here, and so I had to do my best guess about which 8 tracks were going to be the tracks that tried to maintain that meta of the balance of performance across 4 drivers. Did we succeed? I have no idea.
Who knows?
But no one's cursed out their car yet, which is usually a pretty good sign.
I mean, they are not that different.
Okay, I guess you can curse out your car now. Showed already with a solid 132.1 out there.
So what do you think makes the 718 kind of shine on this track?
I believe that the 718 shines on this track because it is the lightest of all of them. Its engine is located in the middle, which is kind of important. It's got a low polar moment. Sorry, I didn't realize not everybody knows what that is. All of its mass is more centrally located than the other cars, which means it takes less force to make it turn.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great for this.
And less weight means less weight under transfer, and there's a lot of weight transfer going on this undulating course. And obviously it's going to shine in the switchbacks, none of which is to say the AMG isn't a fantastic machine here. Just the AMG's kind of like big bread and butter, which is like fantastic braking and big acceleration, are not as important here. Like, Schultz actually on the section right now are just getting off the section where the AMG really would have shined.
So to launch, did you
Got
guys
it.
just
All right.
dump it, like put to the floor first gear, or did you clutch?
Clutch in and then try and slip it to keep the RPMs up, because the moment that it engages.
They are discussing their launch strategies for the for the standing start.
Very fun. Yeah, I had 2.5 seconds up on that, so I think that would put me right up with Ted. But
Doing some gardening while the session advances.
We're all close.
Yeah.
Because we do not have buttons. Grumble, 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 grumble.
It is what it is.
I don't know. It's kind of its own brand of chaos. Yeah, we're all good.
I mean, I see some checkered flags and some other cars not moving, so...
Happy I can get into the 129s because that means I can...
Where did everybody wind up? That's all right.
I'm going to have a big crash.
I'm going to throw up.
This is going to be fun.
Here we go. Standing start.
Also, I really enjoy how wide this is for us. So.
We're going to watch this from the Conan position. Good luck, everyone. This one's for the points.
Better not move forward.
What is going on up here? Watch him pick up a black flag.
Damn it. I had the clutch in and it didn't.
Way to go. Yeah.
It didn't. Yeah.
Like, what are the rules on that exactly?
I personally feel like race control
penalties
should
or just
have
bad starts?
lost their shit there, and they would have called a false start and then abort.
I have to drive through, I guess.
I mean, that implies that you could kind of start moving before the green lights.
Wherever there is a setting that tunes lenience of race control, we have opted for lenience, and so. It's no fun having a third party wreck your Zen, but on the other hand, don't be that guy.
Leave between sessions or something.
It's so different when cars are in front of you.
Look at this pack holding it together here.
Could literally just be that.
Just waiting for a nice turn to cause some drama.
There's our uphill right. Very nice. On it early. Very nice.
I think it's after that last.
Look at that pack just holding that line.
Love watching packs through S's. This is what racing is for, as far as I'm concerned.
My best guess.
It's on the entrance to the front straight on the right where we all spun.
Yeah, you go around the sketchy ass corner.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm concerned that someone's looking for the pit entrance.
Yeah, it's hard right after the sketchy
I
corner.
mean, we did turn damage off, so it's
Right,
not
you
that.
go straight.
Excellent run through there. Oh, that was the jump. There was a black flag for jump start. There you go.
Look at that.
They took the flags. Show using the handy pit speed limiter that we installed.
Yeah,
Is it really?
not getting tires or whatever.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't have to sit.
This is what happens when I don't spend any time in the cockpit. I
Wow.
miss all the innovations that are happening here.
Yeah, your team didn't go, well, he's already here. We may as well take another 45 seconds. Swap his brakes.
Just top off the gas.
All right, here we go. That's the first one. Seems to be my
Holy
MO.
shots.
Oh, shot, yeah.
So race control did notice that little...
They saw. They saw the thing that happened. flying through the S's, but some gaps are appearing here between the cars.
Ryan.
Oh, I was supposed to drive all the way through.
Wait, how did you not? Oh, did you pit?
I did.
Oh yeah.
They don't count a full pit as a drive-through.
It's
They
the
do not.
Oh, that's horseshit.
I have run into that. It sucks.
Is there like an actual motorsport reason for that, or is that the system just being cruel?
I don't know. Doesn't matter anymore.
seems
Did
very
it
weird.
Clear the penalty at least?
Sure didn't.
Oh no.
Haven't checked in on goals much here, but I do believe that he is sitting in the... So we're watching that guy.
The guy with the gloves, which he's wearing again.
He's doing a thing. That thing's having results. Mostly chasing Ted Carter around. Where is Dr. Gould? I guess he's floating out back behind Conan now. About 30 seconds, Dr. Gould to Conan, and then showed another minute behind that due to the extreme cruelness of the penalty system here. Did you actually also get tagged with the speeding in the pits?
Yeah. Well, you won't actually have to brake for that downhill at the end there.
You're racing a different race right now. You're racing the penalty system.
Watch out, Joe.
So
Goat, I'm behind you too. Please stay right. Thank
the
you.
worst part of that is now you have to re-enter the pit.
He already did a 45-second hold effectively. That's
Yeah.
such bullshit.
Can't stay anymore to the right.
No, I appreciate you. I meant it was totally legitimate.
Coming up on your left now. Coming up on left.
You could crash into them, though. I would actually be okay with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that after this one, I need to look up like where do I even go? Like the GT4 rule book. Like does a full pit stop?
Like counts as fulfilling
Yeah.
the
Well, so
penalty.
okay, I'm starting to piece together in my head the logic here. Like, they don't want you to take that opportunity to be like, oh, well, I guess I'll do my tire changes and get my refill,
While
my
I'm doing
fuel,
my thing.
since I'm already forced to go through the pits anyway. Like, they want you to eat the penalty of the drive-through. And then if you want to pit after that for those other reasons, you're capable of doing so. But a drive-through is not an opportunity for a forced pit.
Right.
So I'm okay.
I think that's probably what.
I've put it together in my head now. I get it.
Who was it?
What the hell are y'all doing out there?
They wanted a different line.
Some aggressive gardening.
Coming up on you, Ben. Pushing so hard through there on your left. But I think you've got it, actually.
Punis has the speed, but not the position. He's taking a wide line through there to give him all the space he needs. Goal's pulling away. Very nice apex through there. He's going to be able to keep pace.
So I know we've opted to leave the driving lines on as a driver aid. It gives you a little bit of indication about what are suggested braking zones, but how good are these lines actually?
That's a good question. I think they are good enough.
They're calling cars.
The driving lines provided here by iRacing are not, in my opinion, of the same dynamic quality of some of the more modern racers like Forza 7, or excuse me, the reboot Forza Motorsport, which are dynamic. They're colored, like based on the real-time velocity of the car and the G necessary to take the corner ahead of time. They are still point-in-time lines. But these are much more static. Like they're drawn once. They're drawn once for the track, and they do not take into account like the capabilities of the car, its engine orientation, or any of the other factors that might make you say, like, I'm in a late apex through there, or take a trail braking approach through here. And so, if the goal is I don't know this course, get me through it, they're extremely effective.
Okay.
If the goal is I want to shave my lap time down progressively, lap over lap, they're probably not the best mechanism to do so.
Okay.
We let the drivers select whether they want them on or not, because no one spends enough time in the racing laboratory to get comfortable enough with the track, since we rotate through tracks every night.
Right.
I would love to do a racing lines off night on a more complicated course, but we would do that on a Saturday for lulls and not during one of the scored league nights.
Like, I definitely appreciate it. It gives you a heads up that this is going to be a sharp turn. You need to be going slower.
In future seasons, anything is possible. Any format is possible. Any orientation is possible. The way season 1 is structured, like, we're just keeping the lines on.
Oh, absolutely. I do occasionally wonder, though. It seems like, is this a good time to take the corner wide? Maybe look for an opportunity to get around somebody.
Well, I mean, it's also based on, like, what's going on around you, right? Like, if you were trying to set up an overtake at, say, turn 7, that means you need to be thinking about, like, the line you're going to take in turn 6 and the line you're going to take in turn 5. And those may not be the same lines you were going to take otherwise when you're trying to execute that overtake.
Just like, I don't know. Yeah. Roll the dice. See what happens.
It is said that the best racing drivers think of a track as a big continuous ribbon and not as a series of turns, because they're intrinsically saying, to get the best time on this straight, I need to take turn 8 like this, and if I turn 8 like that, that means I have to take turn 7 like this,
Right.
and to take turn 7 like this, I need to take turn 6 like that, and all the way back through, well, that means I need to hit the braking zone on the big straight like this to set up turn 1.
I've definitely noticed that some drivers are able to take those turns just a little faster, and I'm wondering if it's just a line thing.
That's definitely part of it.
That won't crash this time.
Just checking on what we like to call a non-standard creak or wobble, a noise that we cannot attribute to a known piece of flex.
I'm straight now. Not that bad. Less than lethal.
Bit of a spicy overtake there.
That was my bad.
Space Punies survives race control messing with his pod, but does not survive Conan coming through.
I don't know if we got enough time on the docket.
Throw the flag.
9 minutes on the clock,
I mean, you're not racing me, you're racing
and
Conan.
here is where we stand.
Well, yeah, but your championship points. I need those. I finished poorly in the last race.
Shote in 6th position, turning in a 149. Space Punies in 4th position, with a bit of work to do now to catch up to Conan.
Man, it is really spicy as the tires start to go off, entering the S's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Goals has entered 2nd and is 5 seconds behind Ted, blue flag. He's going to have work cut out for him to finish that in 5 minutes. As Ted's flying. And Conan on his heels by about 5 seconds, which seems surmountable in this environment. Sorry, 8 minutes remaining. All things are possible in 8 minutes. You never know.
It's like, let's see, 8 minutes? 5 laps?
At $1.30 each, yeah, about.
Yeah. So I'm not super familiar with how iRacing handles this. Is like tire wear modeled?
Yeah, tire wear can be modeled, but we do not have any of the considerations like tire wear or fuel in play here. Like all of the cars magically have the amount of fuel necessary to race the amount of time plus plus or minus a couple of laps. So
Okay.
In a format like an endurance race, like a 1 hour race, like a 2 hour race, or in a car that is specifically built to be on ultra soft compound where it's been like artificially turned up, like you can get into pitting strategy being important here. But again, we set up season 1 that
Sure.
pit strategy and consumables were not factors. Now, a number of drivers have asked us for that as we design and develop season 2. So.
I guess part of why I'm asking is so the car will perform at the end of the race the same as it's performing at the beginning of the race.
Approximately.
Okay.
It will be lighter in terms of fuel by a number of pounds.
Okay. But the car's not going to wobble more?
No. And fuel cells are generally oriented such that a full fuel tank versus an empty fuel tank doesn't really change the balance of the car.
But of course, the drivers are going to get tired.
Yeah, that's the much bigger factor right there. Is they will become physically tired and also start to lose their concentration.
Definitely did not blow it as bad as I did.
Especially since we do this after our work day.
Yes. And this being the third race of the night.
And this being the third race of the night, absolutely.
High risk, high reward. Low
If you get it right, you can get a really nice run down the straight.
Yeah, it's pretty high reward. The first part's what I have trouble with. You were right.
Goals still 6 seconds out of blue flag. Conan still 7 seconds out of goals. Space Punies, depending on how he paces, with a shot to catch up to Conan. 4 seconds is definitely achievable with 5 on the clock. And Shote, the recipient of some pretty harsh penalties, sitting at 2 laps out, which is unfortunate. Guess the moral of the story there is, like, the extreme precision of every word of the penalty needs to be processed and understood. I would have made that same mistake.
I'm pretty sure I have made that
Tires
mistake.
go off, I lose my predictability through that corner. Like the car just keeps pushing.
Oh, big time, yeah. It really wants to fly on the outside.
Yes, it does. Are these races even long enough to make the tires go off?
I mean, they do have their optimum grip window for a couple laps. Consider that.
Where did I say he was versus blue flag? Yeah, he was about 6 seconds last time. He's making up fractions, but he's running out of time.
Okay, you are safe up there, Ted. I can't put time on you. Good stuff.
Conan appears to be losing
Got enough
pace
of
on
a
this
gap,
one.
let's hold it together.
Well, man, get that PB. Go for it.
See them purple
Space Punies
sectors,
with the
yo.
inspiring message. And also
Yeah,
3.2
it's nothing if you
seconds.
don't get
This
the
is
fast
doable.
lap.
3.2 seconds in 3 minutes.
It's doable. It's tight, but maybe doable. It's 2 laps.
At this point, it's about 2 laps. Smooth through here. He's got to get all of this straight, which means he's going to have to brake late here.
Just a full half-second faster on that lap, and no way.
Lost it all in that final corner.
Here's where the big decision gets made.
I can push hard, and all I'm
It's a
gonna do
relatively
is,
late break, holds it
make
together,
worse for
cuts
myself.
in, grabs the apex. He's on it a little early there.
I mean, I think you
That's
can push.
going to do it for
I
him,
might
I
make a
think.
mistake.
And he sees it. He knows it. This is why I love motorsport. The drama of tiny little changes in movement, meaning all sorts of downstream consequences.
you're still going to be ahead.
I mean,
right?
that late break is always very risky. I feel like you're trying to get a little bit of extra time out of that straight, but you pay for it on the next leg.
Like the other place is the uphill right? And that's an even more dangerous place to be on it late. Two minutes on the clock. Show turning in a 132 flat. Very nice. Up against a 132. Goals just turning in a 132. And Conan actually pushing through to a 129.5. He found some secret sauce here for half a second.
That is some time. I don't think it's going to be quite enough.
Well, it's an area under the curve problem, but he's got about one more minute of curve. Frankly, we're about to see the white flag come out.
Maybe not as much drama here as I would have maybe liked to see, but they're doing a great job of staying on the track and holding a good line.
It's hard to compete with four well-driven GT4 cars on a relatively tight course like Snetterton 100, or excuse me, not like Snetterton, like Winton. Like, there's just so many opportunities for close contact, and even if you've had a bad time, like, you're going to come back around to that drama again. "30 seconds left.
So even though the positions are probably pretty locked, anything can happen if somebody takes a bad turn.
It's absolutely true, and Conan's new pace is getting him about a quarter a second a lap, of which there is one remaining.
One more lap.
Those tires, you get tire off, it pulls you up to the outside. There's nothing but grass out there.
Exactly. It's like, please stay straight.
Yeah, I'd call that locked in at this point.
A solid race.
Extremely solid race. It's fun to watch, fun to talk about. The only thing it doesn't have is me driving. See you on Saturday.
Done.
iRacing doesn't have golf carts, do they?
No. Formula V's about as close as you get.
Really know
I
how
gotta look
model
ahead
I
of the
make
schedule because
or
actually I don't know what we're
with all
driving on
the-
Saturday this
have
week.
Any opinion on, other than what you feel?
Not the SRX, I can tell you that.
Feel like
think
I've
we've retired that
good
car.
ACC enough to know what to expect.
Lives only in our hearts and minds as an example of what not to do.
I think it's just this track. There's a lot of sliding on this track.
Yeah, you really do cook the outside.
I think you had a bad lap and I had a good one because I took 3 seconds out of you, though.
Yeah, my last
Finishing
3 laps have
strong,
been
Goals
over a
comes
second
in
slower than my
second
last lap.
place.
I really backed off a lot and used that time
As he
to
winds
not
down.
make a huge mistake.
Oh.
Or
I mean, it was after the checkered flag. This is just bonus collision.
I keep telling them these are rentals and they don't listen.
Right at the end. Ow. What happened?
But I physically
I had my hands in my wheel when Ben hit me at God knows how fast.
Bonk.
and
I mean, yes, these are simulation pods, but the wheels do give off some force.
I don't think anything's broken, but that was a hit and a half.
I'm reasonably certain that I can count the dollar value you cost me every time you do that.
This you can do harm.
Everything on that pod is a wear item.
I love an afterwards crash. Holy crap.
All right, let's see some scores here.
Fratricide here.
Space Punies, can I get you to pull out here for me and give me a results screen? I think I've got it in my head, but I want to be sure. There we go. So that's going to be blue flag up front, followed by
That was really fun.
Goals, followed by
That was a
Conan,
really good track, yeah.
followed by Space Punies, followed by Dr. Gould, and Shote rounding us out.
29.5.
All right.
And we'll put that all together into the league point spreadsheet at some point here, but instead, we're going to read you this text from a white page on the screen.
Yes.
That's all the time we have tonight on Tonight We Race. Shout out to our excellent drivers and to our excellent co-host, and also all the volunteers and support people that make this silly project possible.
As always, Tonight We Race is a community activity. We play as a community, we talk as a community, and we frequently source our content from the community. That means we want to hear from you. And the best place to find that is our Discord, and it's linked in the About section of this channel. If you can keep your nose clean on the track and your language clean around the kids, mostly, we'd love to add you to our add your wheels to our cold open races. The Discord is where you get that information.
You may have noticed that we have these racing pods here. They make strange noises and bounce around a lot, and every so often one or more of them is empty for a show. If you reside in the greater Seattle area, are over the age of 18, play well with others, and are willing to sign a liability waiver, a code of conduct, a talent release, there may be some pod time for you. This is, of course, a volunteer role. You help us make the show more interesting, and you get to sit in the bouncy chair for a segment or two. The Discord, again, is where those conversations start. So thank you, everyone. That is the third Wednesday of the Wednesday League. One more Wednesday to go before all the scores are tallied up for the final time. But in the meantime, we have Saturday to offer for you, where I have absolutely no idea what's on the schedule, and neither do you. See you next week. And we're out, folks.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. Excellent show.
Good job. Good races.
Health check. Is everyone okay? All right.
We should probably take a screwdriver to this chair.
Let's see. Let me kill the stream and the mics here, and let's go figure out what's going on with Pot 4.